Invoice Maker software. Invoice Maker software is the invoicing and quoting software. Is the fastest way of quoting and invoicing that was created to make the paying easier for you. Now, you need to spend less time worrying about how am I going to create an invoice. And sometimes you're worrying about the colors, you're worrying about the banking details. Why not have a software? Sometimes you've been ordering invoice books, you have quite a lot of invoice books. Sometimes it's very difficult for you to track your records. This is the reason why Invoice Maker was created. It was created so that you spend less time worrying about invoices, worrying about sending invoices. So your reason why it was created is for you just to get paid and worry less about invoicing and quoting. So this is the reason why Invoice Maker was created. So today I want to show you how does it work. How does Invoice Maker work? So this is the question that most of us have. So the first thing is to create your first invoice. How do you create your first invoice? There are two ways to create an invoice on Invoice Maker software. The first way is to add your products in the system. You can see where my mouse is. I'm hovering over a button. So you can add a product or services inside the system. So you can decide to add a product. So you can click that dialog. A dialog is shown. You can add an item where you can add your products or services. So in this way, you are sure that your products or services, they don't fluctuate, or prices, they don't change quite for some time. So you know that your prices are not changing, they're not fluctuating. So you can add a product, but you can actually create an invoice on the fly. So I'm going to show you both ways. So the first way, you can just add an invoice item. Let's do that right away. So add an invoice item, give it a price. We call this gumboots, and we give it a price. So this invoice item is gumboots. We're going to give a price of $20. So click enter. Let's say our gumboots were 10 or 23. If you note that the Invoice Maker is already doing the math for me, so you're not worried about how many gumboots, how much does it cost. You don't need to hold a calculator. So it does that for you. It does the calculations for you. So if I want VAT, if I click this button, I can change my VAT. So if I want to create a quotation, I can just click here and I can see a drop down where I can choose, is it a quotation, is it a delivery note, is it a text invoice that I want to create. For now, I'll leave it as default, as invoice. If I want to change my date, I can change. If I want, maybe I want to create an invoice for the future, or I want to create an invoice for the past, it's up to me. But I'll leave the date as the current date. So today is the 28th of January 2023. So this is great. I also need to add a customer. So let's say my customer is John Magufuli. Please don't worry about what I'm putting. John Magufuli. So this is my customer. I'm going to give the customer this phone number, and the customer has an address. The address, I'm going to say Harare. This is the address of the customer. The customer, I sold 23 gumboots that are costing $20 to the customer. So I can also add another invoice item. Let's say he bought some. Let's say he bought some gumboots and some security vest. And security vest, there were 10, and each one was costing about $15. So you can see it's doing the math for me. I'm not worried about any mathematics. So if I want it to show to calculate VAT, I'll just check this box. So if I check it, you can see VAT is being calculated at the bottom. So it's easy to create an invoice. So the moment I decide to submit and create, you can see now I have a beautiful looking invoice. Look at that invoice. It also has some terms and conditions that are showing up there. So this is how nice it is. So you can see that this is invoice number 24. So it is a progressive numbering. You are not worried about all that. It's done for you. So the company name is set, even the VAT and the rate number for the company is also set. So it's a decision to upload all this information. So this is how Invoice Maker works. So it makes it easy to create invoices. So if I want to check how many invoices I've created, I'll just click the where it's written invoices. So I have my invoice list. You can see all these are my invoices I've created. So if I want to see more, I'll just click next. I'll click next. I'll click next. So this is this is invoice 001. So I can still go previous and check. This is invoice 44. So there are so many invoices. So the good thing about Invoice Maker, it also keeps your records. So you can create invoices, you can also keep your invoices. So you have nothing to worry whatsoever. You are a winner with Invoice Maker software. You can see here you have your quotations. So this is the number of quotations that I have. For now, this is the quotations that I have on Invoice Maker software. So that is great, that is wonderful. The other way to create an invoice is just to add your products. Let's add my products right here. So I'm going to add gumboots and give them a price. Let's say I have a gumboots that costs around 20 USD, $20. So you can also give the Zimbabwean dollar price if you want to, but right now I'm going to give it I'm going to give only this the US dollar price. Let's add another price and let's call it security vest. I'm going to add another product. I'm going to give this a price of 15, then save. Again, you can see it's showing everything. Then add another product. So this is the product that I sell. So you add your product in the system, so you don't have pain when you're creating this. It becomes quicker and easier. So the other product that I want, let's call it t-shirts. And I have t-shirts that are costing $5. So I'm going to save. Then save. So you can see these are my products that I have now. I want the product to show on my left hand side right here. That's where your product will show. So for the first time there's nothing, so I will refresh. You can see all my products are shown. So every time when I open this software, I'll see my products, the product that I sell or the services that I offer. It depends on what you want to do there. So I can double click gumboots. You can see it's now showing on my right side. So I'm already creating an invoice. So if I decide to say I want gumboots to be 30, or I want even to change the price, let's say I want to alter the price of my gumboots to 25, I can actually do that. You can also double click the security vest. If you want to alter the price, it's up to you. So this is the fastest way also to create a product on Invoice Maker software. So you can also double click the t-shirt. You can see the prices are changing. So if I change this to 10 t-shirt, you can see also it's going to update my total there at the bottom. So it's going to do everything for me. So if I want this same client that I've used, since now the client is now in our database, it's one of our clients. That's the power of Invoice Maker. Also, it keeps the records of your customers. So if you have customers, you need to keep the records of your customers. Invoice Maker helps you to keep those records and you don't lose those records. That's the good thing of using Invoice Maker. You can keep track of how many clients you've acquired over a certain period of time. So if I write John, you can see now it's already showing me that John already exists. So if I click John Magufuli and click enter, you can see it's already giving the phone number and the address for John. Note that on the right it has a checkbox that's written existing customer. So Invoice Maker is showing you that John Magufuli is an existing customer. It's just a customer that you've already built. So it's just it's part of our customers list, or it's one of our customers. That's great. That's wonderful. So if I want to create a quotation, I will change this to a quotation, but for now I don't want to change anything. Things should remain the same, but this time around I want to calculate my VAT. So I'll check this box written calculate VAT or text. So the moment that I do that and I do submit, you can see now I have a beautiful looking invoice. So this is the other way to create an invoice. You can see that we didn't add invoice items, but this time around we have done it by adding products, which is great and which is wonderful. Now you can see this is an invoice. You can print this invoice. It's up to your decision what you want to do best. You can export it to the PDF. In the event that you want to email this to your client, you can export this to PDF. If you're connected to printer, you can print directly from Invoice Maker. So you can see it's doing everything for you. It's storing the invoice. Looks beautiful though. This is the invoice that we have created using Invoice Maker software. So this is the greatest thing that you have ever imagined, that in just with your computer you can create a beautiful, even without even paying. So it doesn't take time. So you need to spend less time creating invoices. It's now thing of the past. You're worried so much, how do I create an invoice? Maybe you need a pen and a paper, you need to write it down. Sometimes it's very difficult to track your invoices, to know how many invoices you have created in a period of time, to just know how many clients you have. Sometimes it's very difficult if you're using a pen and a paper. So this software helps you to do everything at once. So you can also go to your client. If you want your client list, you can click here where written client. Right at the top there you can see it's great. There is customers or clients. So if I click manage customers, you can also see all my clients there. So there's Makiwa, there's Muoni, there's Agrovet Agriculture, there is John Magufuli there. So this is my clients. So you can see all are my clients. I can print this client list if I want to print this customers list. So you can see this is the customers list. I can actually print this or send it to PDF if I want it on my phone. So you can now have a client list with one software. Why not make you a winner with Invoice Maker software? You can see you have your client list. So everything you have, you are not worried about a client list. You can have your invoices back. There's nothing wrong with that. You can now print a summary report. In the event that you need a summary report being printed, this is the kind of software that helps you. So you want to know how much you've made in a period of time. Let's just check how much you've made in on the 20th of January 2023 to the 20th of January 2023. So if I choose the very important part is to choose your currents. If you want to show how much you've made in a period of time. So this is more kind of a sales report that shows you how many sales you've done in a period of time. So if I do filter, you can see that showing everything. So it's filtering all the invoices that were done on the 28th of January 2023. So if the moment that I say print summary report, you can see it's going to give me the total number of invoices. So you can see that on that period I made invoice that total to 1,339, which is great. So this is great if you want to check how much you've made in a period of time. So this is how powerful Invoice Maker is. So it gives you an invoice summary report. This works as your sales report. How many sales have you done in a period of time? This is very important information for a business that wants to grow. You need to know how much you have made, and you make decision on what to do next if your business is growing or whatever that is happening with your business. So this is great. This is the power of Invoice Maker software. So you can actually generate summary reports on Invoice Maker software. The good thing about Invoice Maker, you can also change your theme colors for a company. So let's do that right now. So right now here, this is the invoice list. This is the number of invoices that I have. You can see we have so many. We've created so many invoices. The other thing, we want to change the theme color. So you want to change the theme colors, you just come here on settings and click manage settings and change theme color. Right now you can see this is the blue theme color, so you can change it to any color that I want. If I want green, I can change it to green. So I will leave it at the blue. I want it darker. Let me choose a darker blue there and save. But I want you to know that you only have to choose dark colors as your theme colors, because Invoice Maker uses those dark colors to make it look pretty and nice. So you choose dark colors. This is just important information to note there. So it's important information to note for you. Use dark color. So this is the color. I didn't change it. I just leave it as a dark green, but you can change it if you want to change it to any color. It's up to you depending on your theme colors. So I'm using this dark blue as my theme color. So you can see there is written show terms and conditions. You can still add new terms and conditions. So where there is terms conditions, manage terms and conditions. So you can add your terms and conditions. Look, you can choose also, I want to add the terms and conditions for my invoice. I can choose where I want my terms and conditions to appear. If I want them on my invoice, I'll just choose an invoice. If I want them on quotations, I will choose quotation. So this is great. If I want terms and conditions to show on my invoices, you can see that on all the invoices that we created now, right now, if I go in the invoice list, I can still edit the quotations or the invoices that I've created. So I can edit everything here. So let's say in the future there was an error in whatever calculation that I did, I can go back to Gambus and say, oh, this is an error, let's make this Gambus $21. Then if you click enter and I click and update, I can still be able to edit my invoice. So in the event that you've done errors and you want to correct something on your invoices, you can still do so. Are you not a winner with Invoice Maker software? Today you can shift to Invoice Maker software and try it and see if you're not going to be a winner. So it makes life easy when you want to create invoices, and in the fly you have already a professional looking invoice which you can send to your clients. So this is beautiful. So the other question that I'm asked is, after changing, you can still view this invoice. This invoice looks pretty good and pretty nice. You can view it. Click, this is the invoice that we've edited recently. So this is wonderful, this is wonderful, this is great. That's all. The other thing is, I want a company header, some kind of a letter to show on my invoices. So this is where things get interesting. You can go on company details right there at the top corner there. You can choose manage company header. So you can see there is something written, manage company header. So I can change this company header. Let's put some kind of a company header. I'm going to my documents, looking for a folder written. So go to documents, look for a folder. I have a folder written title header where I've put some kind of a company header. Where is it? Okay, I think I got it. So this is where I put a company header, and I want to choose this core brick top to JPEG file and open. So this is the company header that I want to put. So I've already uploaded. This is the company header that I want to use right now. So this is the head of the company. So this is an image that is around 210 millimeters times by. So this image is 210 in length and 50 millimeters in width. So this is great. So this is the company header. So if I want to use that company header, I'll manage settings. I'm going to check the show company header. So every time I create an invoice, a quotation or delivery note, anything that I create, I want to make sure that the company header is showing. So I'm going on settings dialog and check this box written show company header. So every time I'm creating my invoices, I want to make sure that I show this company header is shown on my invoices. So this time I'm going to double click on my items or my products that I used or that I sell. So if I double click on this product, it's showing on my right. I'm already creating, so it's doing everything. You can see that it's already doing the calculations for me, showing me the total that we have. So I double click this, it's also showing me the totals that we have. So if I change, let's say I want to change the title to 12. Remember, I can still change this price to about $7.80. So I can change the price. I'm still a winner. I'm not going to change the client. I'm going to use the same client. So John Magufuli. So if I click enter, it's going to make sure that it's going to input all the other values, that the phone number, the address, and you can see there it's writing existing customer, since this is an existing customer. So let's create this and see if it's going to show a company header. So look, this is nice. We now have a company header. So this is the invoice that has a company header. So can you believe it? We now have a company header that is showing. So we can do a preview and see this before we send it to a printer. Look at that. This is beautiful. We already have a beautiful and a good looking invoices with a company header that is some kind of a logo. Everything is beautiful. So we can send this to a client anytime that we want to send it to a client. So there are some moments when you need to add banking details of your clients. You can still come back there where it says customer details, manage banking details. You can add your banking details. So I can add some kind of a banking detail. Let's do that right now. So let's call this Cobrick. Cobrick is just one of the company that we've made installation. Let's do caps as our banking, is our bank. So caps, let's add a bank account, so some kind of a random number. Then branch, let's just say it's in Jason Moyo. So that's Jason Moyo Street here in Harare. So let's save. So this is now the bank account that I have now. So I want banking details to show on all my invoices. So that's great. So I'm going to go to settings, manage settings, and written look, that's where show banking details. So whenever I want to create invoice, I want to show banking details. So I'll check this box and save. So if I double click on my products, double click on a product, double click on a product, so the moment that I double click, you're already creating an invoice. So the moment that I say Joy, it's going to show that J, and click enter. It's going to do everything, add all my details for John Magufuli. So that's great. So here it's saying the add existing customer, so you can change. You can see that you cannot change because it's saying it's an existing customer, so it doesn't allow you to change even the name of your customer right here when you're creating the invoice. So that's wonderful, that's great. So the moment that we submit, we now have a great looking invoice. Let's check at the bottom there. We now have our banking details are showing right at the bottom. So this is why it is wonderful to create invoices on Invoice Maker. You can show up your banking details, your terms and conditions, everything is just perfect. So I have a client that does something different. So they've requested that we have a material cost included whenever we are adding our items. So you can add your invoice items and decide, let's say this let's say some kind of building materials. So we have let's say P with some kind of sand. Let me just write sand, and in this sand, let's say it costs about 230. That's good. And we also have some kind of bricks, so this time around these bricks cost about 100. That's it. So the moment that you just need to highlight to the client that this is the material cost and this is the labor cost. So on Invoice Maker now, it's now easy. You just add this button written material cost. So when the moment that you hit it, it's going to calculate the materials that you have and give you the cost of the material. And you can now input your labor cost. Let's say my labor cost now is 200. So it makes it easy for you if you are into some kind of building construction, where most of the time when you're creating quotations and invoices, the moments that you need to highlight what is the material cost, how much does the material cost, and how much is your labor. So that's very important. So you can change this labor, it depends, you can give it the name. So let's say this labor was paving, so you can call this paving. You can still change it to paving. Let me write it in caps, paving. So look, so you can still change this. So even the material cost you can change it, so you can decide that to give it some kind of your own ways. That's how you want to show it. So this makes Invoice Maker powerful and easy to use if you are in construction business and you want to make sure you have some kind. So I can still change my client. I want again John Magufuli to be my client. I click enter. You can see everything's showing, so it's doing the math for me, everything's done for me. The moment that I submit, it's going to pick up everything. You can see now this is the total material cost. So this is the material cost that's need to be used, and this is my labor. This is paving, it's form of my labor. So a client can see how much needs to be done in a certain way. So that is powerful. On Invoice Maker also, you can add some kind of titles to your invoice items. So it's very important to have some titles for invoice items. In the event that maybe you're a client that needs some kind of titles, the moments that you need these titles, please note that it's very important. So you can have a title for your invoice items. It's very important. So you can give your invoice item some titles. Let's say these are fruits. I'm just gonna make it simple. These fruits, then you add another invoice item. So this title is oranges, so these are fruits, and I don't know, I'm going to give cost for my oranges to 30. Then this is a banana, so banana, let's just write I don't know the price, bananas, and just gonna write something like that, 200. So you can now separate these titles. You can decide to separate them, so you can add a blank row. So this blank row, you cannot fill anything, so it's blank, that it means that there's nothing. So you can add these blank rows if you want to just make your invoice look better in terms of spacing, look good in terms of looks. So that's what makes Invoice Maker powerful. You can also give another title. So this time around we can add a different title. Let's add a title. So we have fruits, and we have vegetables, and on vegetables you can add another invoice item. Let's say these vegetables are carrots. So this makes it just look powerful and better. So carrots would cost about 237, something like that. Click enter. So you can see everything is doing the calculations for me. I'm not worrying about the calculations. That's where we say Invoice Maker is powerful. So it makes you spend less time creating invoices. It becomes very easy. So you can see now you have all your titles that are showing up, vegetables, carrots, everything's showing. So this invoice look now better and looks beautiful. It's much more presentable. Let's change these oranges to like 87. I just want to see that it's also doing the calculations for us, so we're not worried about how things going to look like. So math is being done. So if you calculate everything here, it's going to give us these totals right there in the bottom. So if I submit and create, so you spend time worried about getting invoice. Look at that, how beautiful this is. So it's going to give the titles, and it's going to give us everything that we need. So you have everything. So this invoice is everything. It is some terms and conditions, some banking details. This thing look nice, look beautiful, everything is okay. You can do a preview and see. So this is the invoice that is printed, it's printable. You can print this, you can export this to PDF, you can do everything that you want with this invoice. So that is why we say Invoice Maker software is really powerful. It makes it easy, it makes it very easy for you to create invoices. So this is why we call Invoice Maker a powerful tool when it comes to invoicing and quoting. So that is nice, that is wonderful, that is powerful, that is absolutely brilliant, wonderful and great. So this is all about Invoice Maker. There's always more to it. So you can see now we have all our invoices. We can list our invoices. You are a winner every time. You remain a winner. You remain a champion. You will not lose. You are a great person. I know that. This is great and this is wonderful. So you have a list of invoices. You can do filter. You can still print summary report. You can still print your clients list. You can also see how many delivery notes you have created. So you can see that is, I have so much delivery note now that I've created. Yeah, you can see it's also having some numbers that is proceeding there. Everything you can do, everything you can be great with Invoice Maker software. So that is great, that is wonderful. You can also add company registration details, that including your VAT numbers, your registration number, your vendor number. You can also add every information that you want. You can see that you can also do that. So this makes it flexible. You can also job description. There's sometimes that you need a job description for clients, and you need the customer, maybe there are other details for a customer. I can just click these two buttons. Look at the bottom there, there is show job description, show customer, other details of your customer. So if I click save, there you can see now I have two more new inputs where I can fill. So there are moments that you need to add some details of your clients, maybe the VAT or some kind of details that you need, the VAT for your client, There are some invoices where you need to add the VAT for your customer or for a client. So Invoice Maker helps you in all that. You can also add the job description. There are certain invoices where it's necessary for you to add the job description right at the top of your invoices, or your quotations, where it's very important to add the job description for your invoices. I hope this is all to Invoice Maker software. You keep learning and you keep winning and you keep winning and winning. Thank you so much.